Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Civilization video. This is the Commander Spotlight series of video that I just started like a couple of weeks ago. And today is going to be LC that I'm going to talk about. You're probably waiting for this video, or if not, I'm going to give you my insight about LC. So let's go ahead and get started. Before I go any further and start talking about his skills, I want to say a couple of general things. I mentioned about them in most of my videos, but this is something that people keep asking me. So first of all, you have to know that talents only work on the main commander. It works on the second one as well, but only from the main commander. That is the first thing. The second thing, the skills. When you summon a new legendary, the best thing that it is you can do with a legendary commander, keep him at 1 star until you manage to max out his first skill. You're probably noticing my other commanders. For example, you see Frederick. His first skill is not maxed out, so I'm not going any further with him until I maxed out his first skill. After you maxed out his first skill, you can unlock the other skills. So this is valid for any legendary commanders. After you maxed out his first skill, you can unlock his other skills and proceed forward. To max out his first skill, you need 50 legendary sculptures, either specific ones or universal ones. Because if you go into his skills, you can see that you can trade universal ones for his specific ones by just clicking here if you have them. Now the third one, to max out all his skills, you need a roughly of 690. I already have a maxed out legendary, and I know. So you need a roughly of 690. You need 10 to summon him and then another 690 to max out all his skills. After that, I think this is the fourth one, is his stars. So last star on a legendary commander is about 450. So I'm just gonna give you a fair example. I have Minamoto, which he can go forward. So if I want to max out Minamoto from 4 to 5, I'm gonna have to spend about 150 of these. And after that, if I want to take Minamoto from 5 to 6, which is the last one, is another 450. So the last 2 stars on a legendary commander is about 600 stars. So roughly altogether on a legendary, you're probably going to spend about 700, 750, give or take. I would say 700 because it depends on your luck and critical hits. So this is how much you should expect on a legendary commander trying to maxing out all his stars. Now, should we show some love for El Cid today or not? Does he deserve some love? No, he does not. Alright, so let's get started about his skills. Let's start breaking El Cid down. Now, the first thing that you're probably noticing is his direct damage factor. Well, he does a 1000 direct damage factor, which there are epic commanders that can already do this damage factor. So for a legendary, that is really thin on the paper. Alright, so obviously I have him a leveled 1, so this is what I can tell you. Only my experience that I have with other commanders. So from this point of view, 1000 damage factor is weak. Then he has normal attack and active skill for 1 second. It disables. But then we have an epic commander, if you look at Hermann, which has his first skills and silence the target for 2 seconds. So this is 2 different things. So Hermann only silences the target, while El Cid disable target's normal attack and active skills for 1 second. So there are 2 different things. Silence from Hermann, what they mean, it means that it shouldn't cast any abilities for the 2-second duration. While El Cid is disable normal attacks and skills. So for 1 second, when El Cid is going to do his skill, that target is not going to do anything. So this is not bad at all. But how could you benefit from this? Like the maximum how you could benefit from this? Well, only if you build him on a nuka path, or if you group him with a nuka. So that way he's going to build up and generate a lot of rage so he can keep using this skill and keep disabling the target. So this is a very important skill, but situational, because it's just 1 second. Then he has his second skill. So LC troops have a 10% chance to deal additional damage, which is up to 1000 damage factor. Now we all know, and this is valid for the main skill as well, that the damage factor are being modified by the number of troops that you bring. Some people are saying that are modified by the attack, and that will bring to cavalry and archers. So if you want to benefit the most out of your LC, the main two skills are probably the best skills that LC can benefit from, and on the Nuka path. So 1000 damage factor, this can actually be a lot of damage into the game. So into the game, when the troops are going to actually activate this skill, or this skill is going to go in, that 10% chance goes in, that's going to be quite a significant amount of damage. Now the second thing you want to notice about this skill is that it doesn't have a cooldown. So if you go for it, I'm just going to pick an example which is coming into my mind right now, which we have Joan of Arc, for example. Her healing effect can only trigger once every 5 seconds. So LC it does not have this on his second skill. So if you're actually lucky, this can go 1, 2, 3 times in a row at the start of a battle. This is going to be a tremendous amount of boost damage right at the beginning of the battle. So yeah, that would be pretty sick. Then it comes to his third skill, because he is a archer. So his third skill, archer defense bonus. Well, for a nuker, this feels very bad. I mean, march speed, archers, march speed, don't get me wrong, that is quite alright. If you bring only archers with you, that is really cool. That is really cool. Archer march speed. But archers defense bonus 20%. Okay, so archers are very tanky, but you need nuking with your archers, isn't it? So let's say archer march speed is quite decent. You have a lot of mobility if you bring only archers. And then you have the last one. When LC army has been reduced to less than 50%, increased damage to all troops and march speed to all troops. Well, what I have to say, when you're at 50%, you're usually bouncing off. 25% more damage bonus and march speed will help you run away faster. And then you have the last skill, which is out of control. Increased damage dealt to infantry, but I already mentioned at the beginning of the video how long it's going to take you to max out LC. So increase the damage dealt to infantry units by archer units by 5%, and decrease damage dealt from infantry units by archer units by 5%. So you're also going to take less damage if you're using only archers, and you're also going to deal more damage to infantry if you have only archers. So basically, my best tips and advices: if I would have to use LC, I would definitely use him with only archers. This is the first thing. And second, only on the Nuka path. Why? So he can generate more and more rage, so he can disable the target as often as possible. Now, as I mentioned, the second skill and the main skill are the two most important from LC. So in my opinion, the best way you could do with LC, after you max out his first skill, you unlock his second skill, and then you keep him at 2-star until you max out his second skill. So you can actually do some serious damage into the battle. 1000 damage factor with a 10% chance and no cooldown. That is pretty sick. This is the only thing that I basically like at LC, his second skill. I'll be honest. 1 second disable, I don't find that really helpful. Even if it stops the attacks, normal attacks, active skills, everything is 1 second. Plus the damage factor is weak. But this one, this is really good. Then the third skill that I like from LC is this one. 15% Mars speed on your Archer. I'm thinking what I'm thinking right now is because Herman has 10% Mars speed with his Archers as well, so that's bring us to 25% Mars speed. So if we look at Herman also has skills that grants rage, additional rage. Troops normal, they have a 10% chance to grant additional rage. If I'm correct, this is gonna work for the secondary commander, because you're probably noticing by now that when you battle and when main commander is using his skill, automatically the second commander is going to use his skill as well. So this additional 100 rage is gonna work for your LCD as well, or depending which one is gonna be the main commander. And you're going to have a lot of Mars speed as well with your Archers, so you have mobility. If things go sideways, you can, you know, bounce off. And he's a nuker as well and a disabler, so in my opinion, Herman with LC would probably be the best combination that they could go together. That's the main problem, because LC requires a little bit of investment in order to make him like a decent, and he's a legendary, you know. Legendaries requires a lot of investment. And this brings why the Mightiest Governor event is really good, because you already know in my kingdom now LC is in the Mightiest Governor event. So I will try to get some sculptures and I'll probably go and test him. But this is the two skills that I mainly like from LC, the main two. The third one, because of the Mars speed, which I already mentioned, and if you ever obtain his expertise, then he will definitely going to be an infantry counter. Especially that they have disable, so if they have disable and silence, Hib and Herman will probably be the best counter against Richard and Charles Martel, because they will disable, they will counter, infantry will do next to 0 damage, they will do, Archers will do a lot of damage, so there you go, you know, full circle. Right, so this is about his skills. Now how about his talents? Because you might want to use him as a main commander. So I already have, if you haven't seen my videos, I already have done his builds. So this is the first one, which is the Archer. I'm not gonna spend more time on it because I already mentioned I would advise him on the Nuka path. So it's green, red, blue and yellow. But if you want to take him on the Archer path, if you think that this is going to benefit you a lot more, then definitely, my friend, go on the Archer path. I have done the path for you, so you can benefit the most out of your Archers. And now I'm gonna pop up the one that I mentioned and the one that I would advise, which is the Nuka one. And Herman can do the same. Herman has Nuker and Archer path as well. So if Herman is going to be your main commander and LCD is going to be your second in command, then this is the path that you can also build for Herman. You do the Nuker one, and then you have the Archer path. That's it. Simple, easy and peasy. So you have to generate as much rage as possible so you can do the main skill from Herman and LC as much as possible. That's it. No more to talk about it. Green, red, blue and yellow. Right, so these are his talents. Now what's left to talk about El Cid, since I haven't talked everything about El Cid? Well, it's probably his pairs. Now I already mentioned that Herman is, my opinion, the best pair for El Cid, because all El Cid needs to do is, and Herman, they need to generate as much rage as possible, so they can disable the target as much as possible. But as I said, I would advise you to bring only Archers and make it full group of Archers, so you can have Mars speed from both commanders, nuke in the same time, disable and all the goodness in the world. that these two commanders can bring. Now obviously maybe you don't have Herman, or maybe you want to use Elcid with someone else. My personal advice would be that Elcid can make a second in command to any nuker. So any nuker combination, I'm just mentioning just because she is the top commander, not just because she would be the next one. Boudica, who else? Good nukers, or any other nukers. Eulji, Frederick, he could make a very good combination with Frederick as well. Pelagius, any other nuker, because his first and second skills. His second skills, it doesn't say specific archers, so any troops have a 10% chance to deal this additional damage factor. And first one is a nuking skill, so the nuking path usually helps them generate more rage, and he'll gonna use his main skill as often as possible. That's for all I can pretty much say about Elcid. The reason I'm not advising people to invest in Elcid is because there are much better commanders you can invest stars and sculptures in, because I mentioned at the beginning of the video how hard and how expensive it is to level up legendary commanders. I'm playing for 4 months and I'm getting closer on maxing out my second legendary. Okay, so try to realize how hard it is to max out legendaries, and I'm spending money into the game in the same time. So I have Charles Martel, which thanks to the Mightiest Governor event, by the way, not because I managed to do so many universal sculptures. Then I have Richard I, which is going to be my second commander that I'm getting to 6-star. So this is how hard it is to level up legendary. I'm playing for 4 months. So that is why I'm mentioning that he should not be a priority. But if you got too many sculptures of him, and if you want to use your Elcid, he can be a second in command to any nuker you want. You want to put him with Minamoto, you want to put him with Double C, Frederick, Eulji Mundok, like I mentioned, Pelagius, Boudica. You want to level him up with Lohar, you can do that. You can level him up with Lohar. Herman, like I just mentioned. So he has a variety of combinations where he can be helpful or useful. But as I mentioned, the first 2 skills. The other 2 skills, they are for full archer setup. Alright, so that's too much. I have talked about Elcid, and look at that, that's 18 minutes. That is something I did not expect. I think I spent too much time talking about Elcid. So yeah, he is not a bad commander, he's only a bad investment right now. Or for beginners. Until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing out. Peace out, yo.